If you want to know what you need to do to become a lawyer in the Philippines, then just keep on watching. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tina. I'm a corporate lawyer in the Philippines. Okay, so in today's vlog, we're going to be talking about the requirements and the procedure for becoming a lawyer in the Philippines. I was scrolling through the videos that I've already posted and I realized that I have so many videos talking about the different types of lawyers, corporate versus litigation versus intellectual property, etc. But I don't have the most basic video, which is a video on what the requirements to be a lawyer are in the first place. Hence, this video. So in today's vlog, we're going to be talking about the requirements and the procedure for becoming a lawyer in the Philippines. Do you need to have good grades to go to law school? Is there still a PhiLSAT requirement? Do you have to be of pure heart and noble spirit? No, just kidding. We all know the answer to that. You don't. Can you be a lawyer here if you went to college or law school outside the Philippines? Yes, we will be answering those questions and more today. So if you want to know what you need to do to become a lawyer in the Philippines, then just keep on watching. Now, the single most important requirement for becoming a lawyer and for being admitted to the practice of law is that, of course, you need to pass the bar exam. So the requirements for becoming a lawyer, which I'm going to be sharing with you today, will include those requirements that you need to comply with in order to take the bar exam. Yes, there are actually very specific requirements that you need to comply with just to take the bar exam. You actually need to apply to the Supreme Court just to be allowed to take it. You need to submit to the Supreme Court a formal verified petition to take the bar examination, together of course with the other requirements, which I'm going to discuss in a bit. Then, the Supreme Court will evaluate your petition, so it will either grant it or deny it, and those whose petitions were granted will appear in the list of admitted bar candidates for that year. So, you have to be on the list of admitted bar candidates before you can officially take the bar exams as a bar examinee. Ang daming hanash, diba? And that's just to take the exam. That's really how it is. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go one by one. The requirements needed for one to be a Philippine lawyer, including the requirements needed for one to take the Philippine bar exams, are found in Rule 138 of the Rules of Court. Under Rule 138, the requirements that you need to comply with before you can become a lawyer in the Philippines are the following. First, you have to be a citizen of the Philippines. This is pretty straightforward. I'm sure you all know whether or not you're citizens. But for everyone's benefit, I'm just going to flash on screen who are considered Philippine citizens. When you do go to law school, that's actually one of the first things that you will discuss in your Constitutional Law 1 subject. So I won't get into it too much because it's your professor's job to do that. Second, you have to be a resident of the Philippines. Third, you have to be at least 21 years old. To prove this to the Supreme Court, you need to submit a valid copy of your birth certificate issued by the Philippine Statistics Authority. If the PSA birth certificate is not legible, then in addition to the PSA birth certificate, then you're going to have to submit a birth certificate issued by your local civil registrar. If there are erroneous entries in your birth certificate, then you're going to have to submit a corrected birth certificate issued by the PSA. Definitely, the Supreme Court will not let you take the bar exams if may error yan. Fourth, you need to submit satisfactory evidence of your good moral character. Pretty interesting requirement. Also, there should be no charges involving moral turpitude which have been filed or are pending against you in any Philippine court. What is moral turpitude? Moral turpitude includes everything which is done contrary to justice, honesty, modesty, or good morals. Those are the types of crimes which are really vile or depraved. Yung mga malala talaga. Bigamy, concubinage, smuggling, rape, attempted bribery, robbery, murder, estafa, libel, fabrication of evidence, falsification of public documents. You know, those type of crimes which really go into the moral character of the offender or the alleged offender. So, for this fourth requirement, you need to submit 2 testimonials of good moral character executed by 2 members of the Philippine Bar. In short, 2 lawyers who are not related to you by consanguinity or affinity within the 4th civil degree. So yon, that testimonial of good moral character cannot come from your mother dear or your father dear or your husband or your wife. Pero pag jowa lang, pwede. Now, here's something interesting. The requirement of good moral character is not just a condition precedent for becoming a lawyer, but it must also remain intact while you are a lawyer. There are lawyers who have been sanctioned or even disbarred because they displayed bad behavior, which the Supreme Court thought displayed bad moral character. So, moral of the story is, kahit lawyers na kayo, dapat mabait lagi. The fifth requirement is that you need to have completed your pre-law courses. You need to show that first, you completed 4 years of high school, and second, that you completed and obtained your bachelor's degree. For this, you'll obviously have to submit your transcript of records. Now, talking about another common topic, which is your pre-law course. Rule 138 states that you need to have taken a bachelor's degree in arts or sciences with any of the following 6 subjects as your major or field of concentration: political science, logic, English, Spanish, history, or economics. This requirement, though, is not as strict as it sounds. It does not mean that if you did not graduate from any of those courses, that you cannot go to law school. Di ganon. It just means that you need to have taken the specific number of units in those subjects above. So if you graduated from nursing or chemistry or fine arts or dance, you can totally go to law school as long as you've complied with the required number of units in those subjects that I earlier mentioned. What usually happens in those cases is that you will be conditionally accepted by your law school, but you have to take your lacking units before the second year of law school. So that's usually the summer between first year and second year of law school. I myself came from an unconventional pre-law course, advertising. I have a whole video on that. It's entitled Why I Went to Law School from Fine Arts. You can check it out if you're interested. I will leave a link to it down below. So, advertising. It's clearly not one of those 6 subjects that I earlier mentioned, right? So, I lacked 3 units in social sciences. Even if I lacked those units though, I was still admitted to UP Law. I just had to take those 3 remaining units the summer after first year law school, which was totally fine. The Legal Education Board requires that during college, applicants must have completed at least 6 units of mathematics, 18 units of English, and 18 units of social science. Sixth, of course, you need to have completed law school. You need to have successfully completed the study of law as a postgraduate degree for an additional 4 years. When you petition to the Supreme Court to be allowed to take the bar exam, of course, you'll have to submit your official transcript of records indicating your date of graduation. Back to the law school requirement. You need to have taken the prescribed courses for the degree of Bachelor of Laws or its equivalent degree in a law school or university officially recognized by the Philippine government if you earned your law degree here. If you earned your law degree abroad though, then the law school or university should have been recognized by the proper authority in the foreign jurisdiction where you earned that degree. Now, those prescribed courses which you have to have completed before you can take the bar examination are the following: civil law, commercial law, remedial law, criminal law, public and private international law, political law, labor and social legislation, medical jurisprudence, taxation, legal ethics, and a clinical legal education program. Take note though that for the last requirement of a clinical legal education program, that only applies to bar examinees taking the bar exam from the year 2023 onwards. Seventh, you need to submit all the requirements mandated by the Supreme Court, of course, which I'll flash on screen here, including some of those requirements which I already mentioned earlier, but I'm just going to flash anyway the whole list just so that you can see everything. Eighth, you of course need to have passed the bar exam. The Philippine bar exam is composed of 8 core subjects which are known as bar subjects. Different bar subjects have different weights for a total of 100%. Let me share with you the breakdown. For political and international law, it's 15%. For labor and social legislation, it's 10%. Civil law, 15%. Taxation, 10%. Mercantile law, 15%. Criminal law, 10%. Remedial law, 20%. And legal and judicial ethics, 5%. For a total of 100%. To pass the bar exam, you need to have gotten a passing average of at least 75% with no grade lower than 50% in any subject. So, diba, there are 8 bar subjects. Let's say that your grade for 7 out of those 8 bar subjects was 99%. Genius, diba? But let's say that for one subject, you got 49%. Then wala, bagsak ka pa rin. That's why the bar exam is so difficult. No easy feat talaga. So, to all those who passed the bar exam, really, hats off to you. Syempre, yung hand ko, yung hat ko, diba? Hats off. Sometimes though, the bar exam for a specific year is extremely difficult. Well, it's always difficult, but You know what I mean, more difficult than usual. And only a very small percentage of people would pass if the Supreme Court enforced the minimum required grade of 75%. So in those cases, the Supreme Court and bank can actually decide to lower the required passing grade for that specific year. This actually happened during my bar exam, the 2012 bar exam, which had such a low passing rate that the Supreme Court decided to lower the passing grade from 75 to 70%, just so that more people would pass. So yep, the Supreme Court can do that. So that's actually it. Those are all the requirements that you need to become a lawyer in the Philippines. Pretty easy, right? Right? No, it's not easy at all, which is why the hardship is so much more worth it. Now let's go to a few frequently asked questions. The first is if you went to college or to law school abroad. So obviously you got your degree abroad. Can you still take the Philippine bar exam and become a lawyer in the Philippines? Yes, you can, provided of course that you comply with the other requirements like you're a resident citizen, you're at least 21 years old, etc. Before, prior to 2010, it was required that bar candidates must have gotten their law degrees from Philippine law schools only. Now though, even if you studied in another country, you can still take the Philippine bar exam and become a lawyer in the Philippines if you comply with the following requirements. Completion of all classes leading to Bachelor of Law or its equivalent. Next, the law school should have been recognized or accredited by the appropriate authority. Next, completion of all fourth-year subjects in a law school duly recognized by the Philippine government. And lastly, proof of having earned a separate bachelor's degree. Next question. If you fail the bar exam, can you take it again? If you fail the bar exam once or twice, then you're called a repeater. Uy, hindi ko language yan ah. It's the language of the Supreme Court. Go check their website. If you fail it thrice, meaning that you're going to take it for a fourth time, then you're called a refresher. Yes, whether you're a repeater or a refresher, you can take the bar exam as many times as you need to. If you are a repeater, then you just have to submit a few additional documents. I'm going to flash them on screen here. But if you are a refresher, meaning you failed it 3 times, you have to take and complete certain required bar review courses and a pre-bar review course in order to be allowed to take the bar exam a 4th time. Kaya yung tawag sa'yo is a refresher because you have to take refresher courses na. So here are the requirements that you need to comply with in order to retake the bar exam if you're a refresher. Next question. If you have a pending case against you, or a case which has been decided against you, then can you still become a lawyer? Yes, it is possible, but it's not an absolute yes because the Supreme Court still has room to decide whether or not it will allow you to take the bar exam and whether it will admit you to the practice of law. If you have pending or decided cases against you, then you have to submit the following requirements together with your petition to take the bar exam. And based on that, the Supreme Court will decide your fate. Next question. Do you need good grades in high school and in college to go to law school? So at this point, you already know the requirements for becoming a lawyer, so you should know that the answer to this question is a big no. At no point earlier did I mention that good grades are required to eventually become a lawyer or to even go to law school. That said though, even if it's not a requirement per se, if you want to get into a law school wherein there are many people vying for one slot, say UP Law or Ateneo Law, then good grades will definitely give you a considerable advantage. Next question. Is there still a PhiLSAT requirement? The PhiLSAT was intended to be a mandatory aptitude test which you had to pass to be admitted to law school. However, the Supreme Court has permanently scrapped the PhiLSAT and declared it unconstitutional. So no, there is no more PhiLSAT requirement. That's good! That's one less thing to worry about. Because in law school, you will have a quadrillion things to worry about. Joke! It's not a joke. So, that's it you guys. I hope that this video helped you guys who were wondering about the requirements needed to become a lawyer. I know that it's a lot of information, but trust me, it's nothing compared to the information overload that you will experience in law school. Good luck! If you guys have any other questions that you want me to answer, then just leave them for me in the comment box below. The next topic for my next sit-down vlog though is going to be, can lawyers have tattoos? Interesting topic, right? So stay tuned for that. If you learned from this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Please also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to hit the notification bell below so that you guys are notified of all my future uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and see you in my next video. Bye! Oh my gosh, you're so heavy! Oh, hey, stop struggling! Oh. He's not in a very social mood like his mom. Hi YouTube! Subscribe to my mom's channel. Aren't I cute? Aren't I the chunkiest French bulldog that you've ever seen? Yes, I am! Thank you for being so behaved, Pancho. I will give you a bone later for your trouble. You're so cute! Okay, bye guys. It's time for my afternoon walk. GTG. BRB.